So, to begin the Crazy Creature tutorial, the first step that we need to do is get rid of the background from all of our animals. So, as of right now, you should have already downloaded 5 pictures of 5 different animals that you want to use for your Crazy Creature. And you need to be using the pen tool in order to cut out the entire body of every animal. Okay, we don't want to just cut out the body parts because we want to keep as much of the animal as we can, so that way when it comes time to put the animal pieces together, we can just mask out all of the parts that we're not going to use. So to begin, I want you to use the pen tool, which is right here in your toolbar. Okay, the pen tool. Click on this tool and make sure that this button up in the upper left corner of your menu bar at the top, the one that's for the paths, is clicked. You do not want to use this button. This is for to create shapes, and if you use that, the shape as you start to draw it will begin to fill with color. If that happens, delete the layer and make sure that this button is clicked. Otherwise, you won't be able to see what you're doing and you're creating a shape path, not a vector path. Okay? So, to begin, to use the pen tool, you want to click and make your first point, and you want to drag out the handlebars. And remember, the smaller the handlebars, the more control you have over the path that you're drawing. So pull out your handlebars, wiggle them around to make what is called a Bezier curve. Okay? So you just pull out the handlebars. Now, a good tip to remember is the fewer the points, the nicer the path. Okay? The cleaner the line will be. And another tip is you always want to drag your handlebars in the direction you're moving. Okay, if you notice, watch my pen tool. As I drag the handlebars, I'm moving in the direction of left. Okay, so I'm moving left, and I'm dragging my mouse left so that the handlebars pull out towards the left. That gives me more control over my handlebars in the path. If I click and pull up, notice how my line starts to get all funky. Okay? You want to pull your handlebars out and move in the direction you're moving. Now, when you finish your path, you always want to click on that last point. Okay? The first point you started with will become the last point in the path. So that's just like closing up your bracelet. Okay? You just want to link your path together so it's one complete line. Now, to fix our mess-ups, if you need to refine your path a little bit, just like I need to fix this line right here, you want to click on your white arrow tool, which is called the Direct Selection tool. That is located underneath that black arrow tool, underneath the Type tool in your toolbar. Okay? So to get the white arrow tool, you just click and hold your mouse down. The options will pop up, and you want to click the Direct Selection tool, which is the white arrow. Then you can click on your line, change your handlebars, okay? Pull them down, fix up your line a little bit so that it's better. You want to try and get all of the parts of your animal that you're using, okay? If you need to move a point, say I had a point inside my fish, you can just click on that point and move it. Okay, just drag it around till you get it to the spot you want it to be. Once you get your closed path perfect in the way you want it to look, you need to come over to make sure that your Paths palette is open. Okay, now if you do not see your Paths palette, where you can find it is in the Window menu, and make sure that there is a check mark next to the word Paths. If there is no check mark, click on it, and your Paths palette will pop up in the right side of your picture, okay, of your screen, excuse me. So you want to make sure your path is selected so that it's highlighted. Then come down to the bottom of the Paths palette and click on that third button from the left. It's called the Load Path as a Selection tool. Okay, that's the button you want to use. It looks like a circle made of dotted lines. So by clicking that, you get your dancing ants. That's this black and white line that looks like it's moving around in the path that I drew around my fish. Then you want to move up to the Select option. Click Inverse, And then make sure, this is really important, make sure that your background layer is unlocked. If it is not unlocked and you hit the delete or backspace button, your background will turn white, okay? Which we don't want. We want it to be transparent. So we want to see a gray and white checkerboard. So to make sure your layer is unlocked, just double click your layer and then hit OK. The little lock in your layers palette will disappear. Then hit the backspace button on your keyboard and you'll see your gray and white checkerboard. Okay, once you get this, deselect your ants by doing Control D. Okay, that'll make them go away. And I want you to do a File, Save As, save it to your iDrive. Okay, so you want to go to the pull-down menu and select your iDrive. And my computer is running a little slow right now, so give me a sec. Okay, and just name it whatever you want, so you know that that's the animal you want to save. And make sure the format you're using is Photoshop. It should be the very first one in your list. And then click Save. When you get format options, just click OK on those. When it's finished saving, I want you to close your animal and go to File, open up your next animal, and do the same process for all 5 animals. Save them all as Photoshop files, and then we can move on to the next step. Okay.